Flosstube. Hello crafty friends. How's everybody doing today? Today is Monday, January the 18th. My name's Caroline. Welcome back, Daily Crafty Chat. For those American friends of mine who are observing Martin Luther King Day today, I wish you a peaceful day of reflection, and I hope you're enjoying your day. I have some crafty things to share today. I had a busy weekend. I finished up all of my outstanding Evertote work that needed to get out into the mail, and so that was really how I spent the majority of my weekend. And but I haven't really updated you on my own personal crafting since last week. I know many of you will have by now have seen Dorothy's video on Friday, where she very kindly sent me a really, I've already watched it a handful of times, her informative brief introduction behind the history of the Firlanda samplers. And Dorothy, your English is excellent, truly. So please don't apologize. Nothing to apologize for. It was wonderful. And I know many of us are looking forward to a next installment. So that'll be really fun. And it's wonderful to have those little snippets of historical background as we are sort of, stitching away on our own pieces. So to that end, I'll start with sharing. I guess I should finish my first thought. I haven't shared with you some of the personal crafting that I've been doing over the last 4 or 5 days because, and even though I've been busy with work, I've still managed to find a few minutes here and there, and those stolen moments, they all add up, and you can actually see a little bit of progress when you step back and you take a good look at what you've done. So since I was just mentioning Dorothy, I will continue along and share with you my progress on my Firlanda sampler. I am doing, now I don't have a chance of saying the letters in German, so I will say the letters in English. It is the HKVH sampler that I am working on. I am hosting it as a stitch along. If you would like to join me, this is a very, very informal stitch along. There's no informal start date, so if you want to start next month, you're still please welcome to join us. And there's no end date because heaven only knows when I'm going to finish it, but boy, am I going to enjoy it. So this is, you can find the pattern. All of the information is in the drop-down box below. You can find it on the Silk Stitching app, and you can also find it over on the Historisch. Now, I had practiced this, and it's still not any better. Historischer. No. Okay. Dorothy's shop in Germany, Historisch Stickmuster. You can find it there on their website as a download, as a PDF, purchased PDF download, or also as you could purchase that as a full kit if you would like to have them kitted up for you with beautiful linen and Oversoie silk. I mean, the whole 9 yards. You can do whatever you wish. I am stitching mine on a 36 count RandR Reproductions fabric in the Winter Brew colorway, and I'm using a really beautiful silk by Missus Sedas in the Rouge colorway. So my work is on my floor frame. I'm often asked about my floor frame. I use a Hearthside Craftworks Mark II floor frame. If you go to episode 55, Flosstube episode 55 on my channel, I actually did a little video where I show the bits and pieces of my stand and how I use it. They are a small company out in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. They have zero idea who I am, but I hope that over the years I've sent a lot of business their way, and they're a very small company, and their stands are beautiful. They're handmade, solid oak, and their mechanisms on the side are just really smooth and very, the ease of flipping, because I stitch two-handed. So I'm trying to work on having my non-dominant hand on top, but no, dominant hand on top, that's right. But mostly I'm a non-dominant hand on top, dominant on the bottom. But I can go back and forth. I need more practice, but I'm working on it. And so I flip the frame over to sew my ends in or start a thread, and that flipping mechanism on the side, it's nice and smooth. I've had it for over 10 years, and it still works as beautifully as it did the first day that I bought it. It was given to me as a Christmas gift one year from my family, and it still works just as well as it did the first day I started using it. And I use it every day. I love it. Okay, so I will insert a little video of my progress on my sampler so that you can see where I've gotten to. I'll put that in right here. See? A little bit of progress. Every single stitch adds up. And I am loving how it's coming together. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful stitch. I love that so much. So the other couple of stitching things that I worked on, believe it or not, I got back to my Miss Margaret Ann Rollo, 1869. I love this sweet chart. It is so pretty. This was done by Krista Gramer of Just Stitching Along, and I still have a few copies of this chart left in my shop if you would like to stitch this along with me. That's at www.evertote.com. It's still in the holiday section. If you're looking for a copy of this chart, that's where you can find them. And there are also a couple of extra charts that Krista included for some really, really sweet Christmas ornaments on the back. So Miss Margaret Ann Rollo, this, in case you're new here, this was a reproduction sampler that Krista did to go along with a holiday collection that I put out with a bag and a few other treats last year. And what is really quite special about this sampler is that Margaret Ann was from Ontario, Canada, where I am from. So I've read this before, but I've only read it once, and this was way back in September when I launched the kit. And I just find the history behind this sampler so pleasing. So if you'll humor me, Margaret Ann was 15 years old when she stitched her sampler. From my research, and that's Krista Gramer, I learned that she was born in 1854 and hailed from the Northumberland, Ontario, Canada region. Her father was Scottish and her mother was Irish. They settled in Ontario as farmers, and Margaret Ann was one of 9 children. She married Robert Walker Michaeljohn in 1880, who was also one of 9 children. They settled in Rawdon, Hastings, Ontario, and continued a life of farming as their parents had done before them. Margaret Ann and Robert had 6 children, 5 sons, and 1 daughter. Margaret Ann lived quite a long life for those times, to the age of 81. And a little addendum to this information that Krista provided on this sampler. She has actually found one of Miss Margaret Ann Rollo's descendants who still lives in Ontario, and has actually sent, or was going to send, the original sampler back to this man in Ontario. Now, I need to check in with Krista and see if we can get an update on that little tidbit, last piece of the puzzle to find that this beautiful treasure has found its way back to its home of one of the descendants of Miss Margaret Ann herself. I mean, how cool is that? That's really neat. So I am stitching mine on a completely different fabric than what you see on that Krista sort of recommended, because this was in my stash. I really like the colors of the floss on it, and so that's why I chose it. And here's where I am. So mine is quite a bit darker, and I'm almost done my alphabet at the top. And I'm loving those borders. Just love those borders. So I can't wait to get to the red letters here, because I just think that's going to look so beautiful. This is a, oh, what the heck was this? 28 count. It's a silk weaver. It's not 28. I think it's 32. 32 count silk weaver in a taupe colorway. And I'm using a mix of called for DMCs and some other threads pulled from my stash for this one. And so there we go. I put a few threads in that over the weekend, and it was really pleasurable. Okay, last stitching whip for today, and you will all be so proud of me. You will be so, so proud of me. Okay, Savon. Guess what? I frogged it. Well, I frogged the part that I told you I had to frog. I had a pretty big error down in here, right underneath this middle section, this middle motif. These sawtooth pyramids, one of them I'd skipped a stair in the staircase and had just carried on my merry way. And then I, of course, had done all of the black fill-in in here without realizing what I'd done. So I took my seam ripper, because of course all of this border then that I had finished in the ecru was wrong. So I got my seam ripper out on Saturday night. No, it was Saturday night. And I ripped it all out, and I ripped out most of the black fill-in that was wrong, and then all of the ecru that was wrong. And I've restitched the majority of what I had to take out. And then I wanted to put some new progress in. So I did some fill-in in here, and I did some more black in the border over here. So that's all that's left to finish. It's coming along. So I didn't let it languish for too long. I put it in its timeout corner, and I let it think about what it had done, and then I finally got after it. So now I'm back on track, which feels really nice. Oh, I have to show you this next, because this is really funny. This has nothing to do with crafting at all, but I laughed when I saw this, and I thought you guys would get a kick out of this too. So I was cleaning out I have a very strange closet in my bedroom. It's a very strange closet. I mean, this house is quirky, to say the least. But one of the quirkier things about this house is that my closet in my bedroom goes over the staircase. You know, the staircase that goes from the main floor to the upper floor. And so my closet is also a staircase. So it's a staircase that goes to nowhere. But inside that staircase that goes to nowhere, it's a closet. So on one side of it, there are some cubbies and a hanging rack. And then on the other side, there's some large hooks where I can hang, you know, hangers and stuff. Hangers and stuff. It's a very strange closet. You'll just have to trust me on that. But anyways, it's got some shelves that are kind of hard to access in there. And they've been full of stuff for, well, pretty much since we moved in. And finally, you know, those areas of your house that get neglected, and you finally think, okay, enough is enough. I've got to get through some of this stuff and get, you know, toss some stuff that doesn't belong. So I'm going through this pile of treasures in this cubby, this long neglected cubby, and I come across a folder of things that my mother had saved from my childhood, sort of, you know, school memories and report cards and pictures and things like that. Everything is my mother is very organized, and so everything is categorized by grade and filled out properly. And so just for fun, I pulled out one of my grade 9 report cards, and it's very interesting. It's very interesting how there are certain things about yourself that never change. So things that we generally tend to be strong at, we do well at, and things that we are not quite so strong at in areas of our life, well, sometimes we struggle. So, music. Your leadership in class helps everyone. Keyboarding. So that's typing. So I took typing in grade 9. It is a pleasure to have you in my class. Your work is neat and well organized. French immersion. Your responsible, mature attitude is appreciated. Your participation in class is valued. Geography. It's a pleasure to have you in my class. Okay. So that was good. I mean, it's a positive comment, but nothing about your work is great. You're doing really well. My mark was average. Geography. It's a pleasure to have you in my class. No, I already read that. It was French immersion. Never mind. Moving on. English. Your work is neat and well organized. Your assignments are complete. Okay. Math. No comment. My teacher didn't even put in a comment at all. Phys ed. Better use of time would improve your mark. Science. Regular participation in class is important. Yeah. Better use of my time would reflect in my marks. Better use of time would improve your mark. And it's totally true. It's totally true. I was one of those kids in gym class that was always like looking around and not participating to my fullest capability. Anyways, I thought that was pretty funny. Maybe you got a giggle out of it as well. We all have skeletons in our closet, as it were. I have one last crafty thing to share with you today, and that is my Caroline shawl. I've stopped working on my socks for a little while. I'm giving my hand a bit of a break. When I do a lot of sewing, I can start to feel it in my thumb here. And this action, the action of sock knitting, can aggravate it. And so I'm pretty careful now. When I start to feel it's feeling a little bit tender, I try to stop all of the extra activities that may aggravate it, because I still need to sew. So sock knitting is off the table just for a little bit until that feeling kind of goes away, and then I can carry on. And I do have a glove. I have a glove that I can wear, tension glove for my hand. So the Caroline shawl, I just completed the second lace panel. So I am now on to the second garter panel. I'm not 100% that I'm as happy with this as I could be, but I truly think that I need to carry on and finish it, because I have a feeling, like I said before, this is one of those things that's just going to look so much better when it's blocked than it does, because I'm so picky about how things are looking when I'm knitting them. I'm really uncomfortable with something when it doesn't look perfect as it's falling off the needle, if that makes sense. I'm used to knitting, you know, big blankets with bigger yarn or cables that tend to look really attractive right away. Whereas this, I'm starting with a yarn that already had a little bit of kink to it from where I had ripped it out before, because I didn't wash it and prep it. So this area is a little bit, you know, mangled up because the yarn wasn't perfect. And my tension in my garter here was a little tighter than it should have been. So I'm hoping that with some aggressive blocking, it will be exactly what I want it to be, because I'm so in love with the color. I love the pattern. I love Josh. So I think I'm just going to keep going and trust the process. So I am kind of hosting another one of my sort of, you know, informal cals. So a knit along with the Caroline shawl. If you would like to join me, you're welcome to use the hashtag Caroline Shawl cal. And you can post on Instagram. I'll try to follow, I will follow that hashtag. But also, if you knit a Caroline shawl, if you could email me a photo of it, I'd love to see it. I would love to share it at the end of the podcast. And if I receive some emails with finished Caroline shawls, then I'll pop all of your name into a hat and we'll do some kind of a fun giveaway draw or something like that. I know Josh had said that maybe she'd have some patterns to give away too, so that would be fun. Oh, the yarn, I should tell you about the yarn. It is a Madelaine Tosh Twist Light in the Jade colorway. There's Jade, Twist Light, and Madelaine Tosh. It's just a beautiful yarn. Really, really beautiful yarn. Okay, and that's all of my crafting update for today. Luna is beside me as usual. And the only other thing I have to add today at the end of this video, if you're going to remember back to last week, I had said that I would be putting out a video, or at the end, I talked about a little shop update that I was going to do with the Leo&Roxy floss that I have. And I'm going to put a screen cap on this video that says, "Hello, crafty friends." So that was going to be your clue that there was going to be a shop update that was not going to be advertised anywhere else except right here, right now. And so this is your little heads up that I am going to be doing 3 shop updates this week with my new blue Leo&Roxy floss that I have. I have 5 colors. I did show them last week, and I will be showing them again later this week when I do the second shop update that I am going to be advertising on Instagram and, you know, putting a screen cap on so that people will see, oh, there's new floss. So you'll have to remember back, or I will find which video it was where I showed the colors clearly at the end of the video, and I'll link to it in the drop down box below so that you can go back to that video. Just skip ahead to the end, and I showed every single skein of floss that I had. There's 5 different colors, and I'm going to, what I've done is I'm carding them. I'm carding them 1 skein at a time. I'm getting about 56 to 59. One I had 50 cards of floss per skein. And I have 3 big skeins of floss of each color. So each shop update is going to have approximately 58 skeins of floss in each of the 5 colors. I'm going to offer it 2 different ways. I'm going to offer it as a set of 5 so that you'll get 1 of each of the 5 new colors. I'm also going to offer a number of them as just individual flosses. So if there was one color, for example, if you just fell in love with polar ice and you want to have 5 skeins of polar ice, you'll have that option to just buy the 1 color. You don't have to buy all 5. There will also be no bag set with this floss. The new line of blue floss, I am just offering it as floss. So again, there will be 3 shop updates. So the first shop update, the one that is not going to be advertised, is going to be tomorrow night. So that's going to be Tuesday, January the 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am not going to put that information in the drop down box below. So this is it. This is your first notice. You get first chance at the floss. Tuesday, January 19th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be the first batch of the floss that I will have. I'm going to do another shop update that I am going to advertise. That one's going to be on Thursday night, Thursday, January 21st, the 21st of January at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the third and final shop update with floss that I will do will be Saturday morning, this coming Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is 3 chances to hopefully score some of the brand new blue line of blue floss from Leo&Roxy. And I I am really hoping to have some for myself for the Modern Folk Embroidery Fruits of Plenty stitch along for 2021. However, I'm going to wait until I see what the more popular colors are that you guys wish to choose first, because I have my fabric picked out, and any of the 5 look amazing on my fabric. So I'm not overly, if one color is more popular, I don't want to kind of take it out of inventory for myself, because perhaps one of you would like, that's your favorite color or something. So I'm going to wait until, you know, I sort of start to see how the numbers are, and then I'm going to choose my floss for my stitch along. That's the next thing I really wanted to mention here about the floss, because this is such a small batch of indie, you know, specialty hand-dyed floss. This particular colorway is, I mean, yes, Carrie will be able to dye another skein of, you know, so what did we talk about? Polar ice. She will dye polar ice again, but we know about dye lots. We know that when we order, you know, 1 skein of floss 6 months from now, that color of floss, even though it has the same name on it, it's not going to look exactly the same because dye lots change. So my advice to you is make sure, if you have a specific project in mind, that you are ordering enough floss, because I will not have any more, and I am the only place there you can't find, you won't be able to find it anywhere else. So I would avoid choosing a really massive project and thinking that you can get enough floss. Unless you're absolutely 100% certain that you're ordering enough floss. And also keep in mind that, you know, if you're going to be ordering 50 skeins of one color, it's not going to leave a lot of other people some options. So let's try to be kind. There are going to be 3 shop updates. I'm trying to spread it out so that as many people who want to try it as possible will have the chance. The other quick note is about shipping. I think I have it figured out. Tomorrow, I won't be putting out a video tomorrow because I need the day to finish photographing, carding up some of the floss, photographing it, getting the website ready for the first little update for tomorrow night. And I have a couple other of family things going on tomorrow that need my attention and I have to take care of as well. So I won't have time to do a video tomorrow, but I will be back on Wednesday with another daily crafty chat. Postage for the floss. I think I've worked it out that if it's 4 skeins of floss and less, is it 4 or 5? I can't remember, because I know it's unfortunate that it's a 5 skein set, because I think 5 skeins and up, I have to charge a little bit more for shipping. I can't get it in at a letter rate because I have to put it in a padded envelope. And as soon as you put it in a padded envelope, they charge you more. So, and I don't want to take the chance that all of this floss isn't going to get delivered where it's supposed to be. So I really am going to try hard to keep the postage costs down. I don't make money on my postage. I live in Canada. The vast majority of things that, up until I would say a couple of months ago, the most amount of stuff that I was sending out from Evertote was actually going out of the country. But recently, over the last couple of months, more and more Canadians have been finding me, which is pretty nice. So hello Canada. I'm sorry your postage is more expensive than it is for me to send it to the States, because that's a little ridiculous. But anyways, so I am still finalizing the postage rates. If I don't have it right, if you are overcharged postage in your order, when I pay for the postage, if what I pay is less than what I've charged you by, you know, $1 or more, I will refund you that extra money on the postage. I'm not looking to make money on the postage. I'm just looking to not lose money on the postage. So I think that's a good goal to have. And that's it. That's it for me today. I better go. I need to take you-know-who for a you-know-what around the block. We are still, as so many other people are, in lockdown. It's been it's January, you know? So it's January, lockdown, it's gray. We're doing our best. We are doing our best. We've been watching old seasons of Survivor. And I'll tell you, if you want to feel grateful for your surroundings, which season is it? Which one are we watching right now? I want to say it's season 36. It's the David versus Goliath season. And no, we're still at the pretty much at the beginning of it. So no spoilers, please, if you have watched it. But I can tell you at the beginning, the first 3 or 4 episodes, they are living through like cyclones. The weather is horrendous. I mean, the weather is horrendous. And they are out in their little, you know, barely their shelter with they're sleeping on bamboo, and they're wet and cold, and you just think, I'm very grateful to be inside my house and warm and dry. So we are locked down watching Survivor. Oh, okay, that really is it. Now I better go. I'll see you on Wednesday. So don't forget, if you are interested in first chance at the floss, no advertising. This is it. You get a secret little advantage here. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, the 19th, January 19th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's www.evertote.com. And that's it. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care. Happy stitching.